Right? We're never going to stop praising Yahweh about you. Done. Let's go to the Psalms. Let's go to Psalms chapter 106 and verse number 1. So we're going into the blood versus bondage. God, the blood versus bondage. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 106 and let's read verse number 1.
Psalm chapter 106 and verse number 1. Praise ye the Lord.
Do what?
Praise ye the Lord. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever.
Right? The Lord's mercy endures forever. The Lord is allowing us to come together, travel from different parts of Babylon the Great to be able to be a partaker of his body and his blood. Come. So you have songs like Psalms 106 and different songs that commemorate the Exodus, the Most High's mighty works, and the different events that took place in Egypt and throughout our journeys into the wilderness. God, read on.
Can utter the mighty acts of the Lord.
Who can do what?
Who can utter the mighty acts of the Lord? It's the Lord on his praise.
No one can truly do that, huh? Right? Only Yahweh, man, knows the extent of his mighty works. God, read on.
Blessed are they that eat justice, and he that doeth righteousness at all times.
Go on.
Remember me, O Lord, with the thing that thou bearest unto thy people, O visit me with thy salvation.
Read.
That I may see the good of thy chosen, that I may rejoice in the gladness of thy nation, that I may glory with thy inheritance.
We want to glory in the inheritance of the Most High with the Passover. We want to talk about the works of the Lord. We want to speak about his mighty acts. Right? We have to, nobody else is going to do it, huh? The so-called white man's not going to do it. The so-called Chinese man's not going to do it, man. The people at your job aren't going to do it. It's up to us to stand up and speak about the wonderful works of the Most High. God, I don't care who nerves I get on, huh? Or who got a problem with it, huh? Because we're the ones that have to stand up for the Most High. Let's go to Psalms 119 and 108. We're going to talk about the wonderful works of Yahweh Bashmel Shai in the law. Right? Psalms 119 and 108.
Psalm chapter 119 and verse 108. Except I beseech thee, the frequent offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments.
And do what?
And teach me thy judgments.
And teach me thy judgments. So let's go into the judgments of the Most High. Let's remember the mighty works of the Most High. Let's go to Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. Right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 1 and verse number 8.
Let's go to Exodus chapter 1 and verse number 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Right?
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Right. So we know that we're more and mightier than the Egyptians, physically, intellectually, spiritually, mentally, on every level. We were excelling the Egyptians. Right? When we came into Egypt, remember the 70 souls came to Egypt, and we grew and we multiplied. Right? We don't.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it comes to pass that when they fall out in a war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
It said we have to control them because there are other empires that were existent during the time of the Egyptians. You had the Hittites, you had other Canaanite empires, and word would get out. And if we had an allegiance with those other Canaanite kingdoms, we could overthrow the Egyptians. And they knew that. Go on.
Therefore, they sent over them taskmasters to afflict with their burdens, and they built a Pharaoh in certain cities and reigned.
So there were a lot of spirits that were on the children of Israel during this time, right? Spirits of affliction, spirits of groaning. We just read the 12th chapter. Spirits of anguish, right? These were spirits that were in the land of Egypt. Con, right? Go on.
The more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were free because of the children of Israel.
Right.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve. Right?
Serve with rigor. That's physically demanding. Right. That's punishment. Beat, whooped, scourged. Go on.
And they made their lives bitter.
And they what?
And they made their lives bitter.
They made their lives bitter.
With hard bondage and mourning and in prison and in all manner of service in the field, all their service were in, they made them serve was the prison.
So we're going through a physical captivity, but we're also looking at the different spirits and evil spirits that came with that captivity. God, right? These were spirits that were affecting the children of Israel due to our oppression, just like Babylon and Babylon the Great. We're in physical bondage, but we also experience the same amount of affliction through these spirits on us. God, brothers deal with all these spirits at work: groaning, anguish, bondage, bitterness. God, all these same spirits. Go to Exodus chapter 3. Let's stay in the same book of Exodus 3, and let's read 6.
Exodus chapter 3 and verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face. For he was afraid to look upon power.
Go on.
And the Lord said, I have truly seen the affliction of my people.
Right? Affliction
Are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrow.
I know their joy.
For I know their sorrow.
I know their birth.
For I know their sorrows.
Depression.
I know their sorrow.
Right. That's depression. Right? This is anguish. This is bitterness. Right? Keep in mind. Let's go to Exodus 6 and 3. Right? Exodus chapter 6 and 3. I know their sorrows. The Lord said, give me any plague, but what? The plague of the heart, huh? Right? So these are a lot of different demons that we had to deal with in ancient Egypt. Outside of the physically demanding work, it was a mental, spiritual type of oppression that we were dealing with as well, huh? Right? Just like now, man, a lot of brothers, even in this captivity, man, brothers, they commit suicide, they drink themselves to death, they try to smoke and get high and escape from all of their problems. There's more evil and demons that we deal with due to us being in this captivity. God, it's physical, but it's also spiritual. Exodus 6 and verse 5. Let's get straight to the point.
Exodus 6 and verse 5. And I have heard also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, the Egyptians, and bondage. And I remembered my covenant.
Read it one more time.
And I had also heard the
groanings, go on,
of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage.
Whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, go on.
And I have remembered my covenant.
And jump to verse 9.
Verse 9. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit.
What's another spirit that was on?
For anguish of spirit. And for cruel bond.
So pay attention to these different spirits that was on the Israelites at this time. God, anguish of spirit, that's sorrow, cruel bondage. What else did we read about? Sorrows. All of these are different, again, spirits that were in ancient Egypt that were affecting the children of Israel. See, this truth is physical. Give me a class of Ephesians 6. Right? Give me Ephesians 6 and 10. You start at 10. Read 12. Get straight to the point. Ephesians 6 and 12.
With Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So our captivity is not just the flesh and blood thing. Even now, we deal with the so-called white man, but this isn't just us dealing with Esau. We're dealing with the spirits in Babylon the Great. God, it's saying in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that Babylon the Great is the hold of every foul spirit in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You got spirits of homosexuality here, spirits of child molestation. You got spirits of bestiality, spirits of incest, spirits of depression, alcoholism. Not only do we have to deal with the physical nature of this captivity, but we got to deal with all of the spirits as well. And the spirits, you leave here, you go out it says Guildford Road, whatever we at, huh? It's nothing but demons out there, huh? Come, it's not you both from Philly, you see the same spirits, huh? We teach up in Rhode Island, we see the same spirits. So you're fighting a physical battle, but you're also fighting a what? A spiritual battle. So our wrestle is not flesh and blood. Yes, Egypt, they had to build actual cities, but it was also a spiritual battle as well. To stay safe, huh? To trust in the Most High. Colin, read on, okay? Read 6 and 12 from the top. So like Ephesians.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world,
Against what?
against spiritual wickedness in high places.
And the Most High was spiritual wickedness in high places. Remember, the Most High said, I'm going to smite Egypt with plagues against Pharaoh and against who else? Brothers, remember? Against who said that? Against their gods, man. So the Most High knew about the heavy level of demons that was in ancient Egypt, where every plague was a hit out on a demon that was presiding over ancient Egypt. God, the plagues wasn't just on Pharaoh; it was hits out against those so-called gods. God, what tells you about these things? So we're wrestling against powers, right? Powers are high-level spirits. Principalities are different areas that hold high-level demons. God. And we often talk about every city got their own particular demons. What demon is out in Atlanta? The homosexual demon, predominantly. What about Baltimore? Murder, drugs. What about Philly? Islam, murder. Philadelphia, they call it, huh? You said what? Trainers. You see that, huh? All of the above. Right? What about Rhode Island? What y'all dealing with? Crackheads, huh? Right? It's sad, huh? These are spirits. These are principalities. That's what we fighting against. When we at Cap, we're fighting against the demons inside of them. Right? We're not fighting against that. We have nothing. There's nothing personal out there. Right? We don't have an emotional attachment to who we deal with. Sometimes you get emotional, you get riled up. You often, through experience, settle down and remind yourself, oh, this person's out of their mind. This person has spirits on them and demons that they're battling that we also have to battle. Come. So we're wrestling against principalities. And what else can you finish that? Against the rulers.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So okay, Pharaoh was over Egypt. Was he the top man in Egypt? No, he's just man. He's just mortal man. But there are principalities and spirits and powers that resided over Egypt. God, Egypt also had a homosexual spirit. When you go back and we're not going to read Leviticus the 18th chapter, Leviticus the 20th chapter, the 22nd chapter. We'll read Leviticus 18 and 3, King. Let's just give one quick precept. Right? All of these different laws the Lord commanded us to do is exactly what the Egyptians were dealing with. All the spirits, and there was a lot of spirits in ancient Egypt, huh? And that's one place, even to this day, I'll say I will never go to, huh? How many people want to go visit Egypt? You see that, huh? Right? Read that, King.
Leviticus 18 and 33. After the doings of the land of Egypt.
Read that again.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do.
Because there were nothing but evil demons there. Right? We have to give me Ephesians 1 and 12. Right? As we grow in this truth, we look at things more spiritually than carnally. Right? That's the sign of experience. When you have a spiritual mind instead of a carnal mind. God, that's in your household. Now, you might have an argument with your woman or your children. Or you, through experience, and these are spirits. Right? Every time I try to read, I fall asleep. Brothers know about that spirit? That's a demon. Right? Every time I want to read, the neighbor's dog starts barking. Those are spirits. Colin? Right, so read that, King.
Ephesians 1 and 12. Then we should be to the praise of his glory, who first trusted in the Messiah, and whom he also trusted after that he heard the word of truth,
Right?
the gospel of your salvation, and who also, after that he believed, he was sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise.
Now jump to 18. Here's what happens when you're sealed with the Holy Spirit.
Verse 18. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
No, we stay in darkness.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
So as we read the Bible, we're reading the Bible with an enlightened mindset. Come, we're not just reading the Bible as it's just physical men and physical cities and a physical bondage. We're looking at things on a spiritual level. Come, because the eyes of our understanding is now being enlightened. Right? We understand that there are spirits that operate Babylon the Great. Even these other nations know. What does Iran call America? The Great what? How come they don't say the Great White Man? Because they understand that there are powers and spirits that are operating. Well, see the Iran, they go propaganda. Yeah. They say they often put that America worships a false god named Baal. What's talk about that, Con? So you know that even these other nations, they know about spirits. They know about demons that operate in America, right? Even a Moabite man came out and said that there are elements of evil to America's military operations, right? So all these nations, I think me and Amos were talking about that. They all talk about the Mossad. They talk about spirits and war when they talk about the so-called white men in America, Con? Because they understand something that a lot of our people don't. They understand that there are evil elements and spirits operating in these different kingdoms, God. And it's nothing new under the sun. The same thing was in ancient Egypt. That's what we read about those demons, anguish, oppression, sorrow. Those are actual evil spirits, God. Right? So the eyes of our understanding is now enlightened. Read on, King.
That ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.
Go to Tobit 8:1. Further proof, right, that Egypt was a hotspot for major demonic activity. God and our people were affected by a lot of those spirits in ancient Egypt. A lot of those spirits, huh? Why do you think when we came out of Egypt, what was the first thing we built? Golden calves. We had demons on them, huh? It wasn't just, oh, Aaron fell. No, our people had demons on them. And Aaron being a high priest, he should have discerned that y'all had those demons on y'all that the ancient Egyptians had on. God. Right? So that's how you approach things spiritually. Read that, King.
So with 8 verse 1. And when they had supped, they brought to Titus and to her. And as he went, he remembered the works of Raphael and took the ashes of the perfumes and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon and made a smoke therewith. The spell when the evil spirit,
No mortal man.
when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled.
He fled. Go on.
Into the utmost depths of Egypt.
Of where?
Of Egypt.
Why did he go to Egypt, huh? How come he didn't go to the tabernacle, the temple? Right? How come he didn't go to Tobit's house, huh? Right? How come he didn't travel with Tobias? Remember, the scriptures even tell you that Tobit said, I believe in the 6th chapter, that a wicked spirit loveth her, huh? So you have wicked spirits that are attached to people, and that demon knew the best place he can go is where? Egypt. When Yahushua cast out the demons, where did they decide to go in the Gospels? To herd the swine. God. So brothers see how these spirits, they find a host, just like a parasite. A tick, a tapeworm, a leech. They all look for a healthy host, a host that can sustain them. God. So that Egyptian or that demon and Tobit fled to a place where there were other demons. Come, go to the classic and Mark the 12th chapter, where he taken 7 unclean spirits just more wicked than himself. You just get that point. And 12, you don't have to read 43. You get straight to the point, King. Matthew 12. You get straight to the point.
It's the book of St. Matthew. Right? The book of St. Matthew, chapter 12, and verse
45.
In verse 25. Then go and meet and take with themselves several other spirits more wicked than themselves, and they entered in and dwelled there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this weak generation.
That's how this generation is, man. Right? That's how this world is now, ran by a plethora of demons. So these spirits interact with each other. Otherwise, how would this demon go and get 7 other demons he knew that were more bad and wicked than him? Right? So when that demon in Tobit the 8th chapter fled into Egypt, he knew why he was going into Egypt. And these spirits are very intelligent, man. Right? They've been given power from the Most High. So we're going into these spirits that was in ancient Egypt oppressing the children of Israel. Brothers understand? Let's get one more. Go to Deuteronomy 26:6. Right?
Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse number 6. And the Egyptians evil and treating us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage and will be tried as the Lord our God.
And we did what?
And will be tried as the Lord our God.
Affliction, bondage, go on.
The Lord heard our voice and looked on our affliction and our labor and our oppression.
And our oppression. So again, as you read the book of Exodus, be mindful of our estate in the physical realm of captivity, but also understand the different elements of spirits that we were dealing with at that time, that were on our people so bad, that we had we built the golden calf coming out of Egypt, right? That we were scoffing at the Most High. We had a lot of spirits on us at that time. Who's the Lord, right? We arguing with the Most High, arguing against Moses. We had a lot of spirits due to that anguish. When somebody's so vexed and traumatized, no matter how much good you tell them, they don't want to hear it, They're naturally inclined to be contentious, right? And it's not really them, it's the spirits on them. And that's how we responded in ancient Egypt to the Most High saying he would deliver us, right? Due to the heavy spirits that was on us. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19 and verse, you're going to read 14 through 16.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19 and verse number 14. For the silence they have received those whom they forgot when they came, but these are friends and bondage that had well deserved with them. And not only so, but for affection, some respect, strong, had those because they use strangers, not friendly.
Now, what?
Not friendly, but these very grievously afflicted them, whom they had received these things and were already made partakers of the same laws with them.
Right, so the Most High speaking about how the Egyptians did what? What's the key word right here? Betrayed the Israelites. That's the word betray. See, the ancient Sodomites were wicked and they were destroyed, but they didn't do what the Egyptians did. The Egyptians brought us in with open arms, due to Joseph. We read how Jacob talked to Joseph and we had the best part of the land. And then a demon of betrayal was made manifest. And we were heavily afflicted by those same Egyptians. Right? So go to the book of Daniel, chapter 10. Right? Get a little bit further into it. So when we were delivered out of Egypt, we didn't carry through the spirit of the Most High. When we walked through the Red Sea, right? The Most High took a lot of those spirits from us, and he gave us mirth. The Lord gave us joy, right? The Lord gave us the spirit of dance. He gave the spirit of songs. All the spirits were now on us instead of these different demons, So the Lord frees us physically, but the Lord can also free you what? Spiritually, right? Spiritual. So bring that up, King. Daniel 10.
Daniel chapter 10 and verse number 1. In the very year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belshazzar. And the thing was true, but the translation was wrong. And he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision.
Right.
In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh for wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all. So 3 whole weeks were forbidden.
So 3 full weeks of mourning, right? 3 full weeks of warning about the estate of his people and the condition of the Israelites at that time. God, now let's get straight to the point. Jump to Daniel, the same chapter, Daniel 10 and verse number, you can start at 11.
Verse number 11. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright. For unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembled.
This is an angel strengthening and comforting Daniel. God, right, go on.
Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thy heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words.
So the 3 weeks of mourning was really supposed to be a 1 day event because the angel was supposed to come the same day that Daniel started his mourning. God, and he's about to tell you that he got held up and he couldn't come to Daniel the first day because something happened in the spiritual realm, right? Go on.
I am come for thy words.
So what happened?
But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 and 20 days. O Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
So you had evil forces and spirits stopping this angel from coming to Daniel. God, and that can happen. You could be throwing up a prayer, you could be fasting, you could be dealing with something, and the Most High is send an angel down, but then there'll be a demon there that's also sent by the Most High to stop you to see if you're going to endure. God, because Daniel could have said, well, nothing happened the first day. I'm done. No, he kept pushing through his fast and through his mourning, and the Lord was working with him. God, so just because you're throwing up prayers and you feel like the prayer wasn't heard day one, there's a lot of things going on in the spiritual world that we're not aware of. And we got to tap outside of this flesh and understand things on a spiritual level. God. So the prince of the kingdom of Persia is a demon that operated over the Persian Empire. God. And it wasn't just the Persian Empire. As you read on, there are different kingdoms that are set up and that are operated by Satan. God. Let's go to Daniel 10 and let's read verse number 20. Start at 19.
Daniel 10 and verse number 19. And said, O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee. Be strong, yet be strong. And when they had spoken unto me, I was strengthened and said, let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened
The
me.
angel strengthened him. Go on.
Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee, and now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia.
The prince of Persia is not an actual man.
Yeah.
It's not King Darius. It's not Cambyses. It's not Cyrus the Great. Who's the prince of Persia? What brother say? Satan. The prince of the power of the air, the spirit that thou worketh, and the children of disobedience. So there are forces that are going on right now. Huh? See, we're talking about this war in Iran. We're talking about what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz, right? See, a lot of these whistleblowers, these political scientists, they can only speak on carnal matters. We're the ones that can say, well, here's what's happening in the spirit. There are angels drying up the river Euphrates. There are angels bound in the great river Euphrates. Huh? They're not going to talk about that on Fox News, CNN. It's not going to be on that. The high level information belongs to us, God. And we understand that there's a satanic force operating over America, right? Brothers understand that? So when the Lord comes to deliver us, he's delivering us physically, but also from what? Satan and his stronghold that he has on this place. God. So read that again, Daniel 10 and 20.
Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I am come unto thee.
You know what I came up to you?
And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia.
I'm fighting with the prince of Persia. Go on.
And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Greece shall come.
So the next kingdom's up, the Greeks. And who are they operated by? Satan, the exact same entity. Why do you think Alexander, he conquered the known world in 12 years? And he had a lot of spirits that was on him. Homosexuality, pride, violence. They say when Alexander conquered the last city, he cried and wept. And his generals came to him and said, well, why are you weeping, Alexander? What's going on? He said that there are no more people to kill. He said, I don't have anybody else to kill. And they comforted him, in ways that Alexander might be comforted. Bring him, Kim.
I assure you that which is noted in the scripture of truth. And there is none that holdeth with me and his things, but Michael, their prince.
So Michael is the chief archangel that stands up for the children of Israel in times of great calamity. God, give me that in Daniel 12. Well, that's who Michael is. A lot of scholars don't say that who the world calls Jesus Christ is Michael. No, those are two different entities. Michael is third under. Well, you got the Most High, you got Yahushua, you got Michael. He's the third ranking spirit created by the Most High. God, Michael in the Hebrew is Mayaka Alba, which means who is like God. Right? Give me Daniel 12:1. Quick precept on Michael.
Daniel chapter 12 and verse number 1. And at that time, saw Michael stand up, the great prince, which stand for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of sorrow, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
So Michael's the chief archangel that stands up for the Israelites. Right? Everybody has that fears the Lord has what the world calls a guardian angel. God, that's Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. On a large level, we have a guardian angel as a nation. And Michael is that angel that's over the entire nation. Come, higher rank, the highest ranking angel. And Michael is coming back to take down a so-called white man. Or read in the book of Daniel that he also takes down these spirits that are over these different kingdoms. Come. So you have the prince of the kingdom of Persia. You have the prince of the kingdom of Greece. Who do you think ran the Babylonian Empire? Satan, the prince of what? Prince of the Babylonian Empire. What about the Romans? Same thing. What about the Assyrian Empire? Same thing. What about Babylon the Great? The same thing. What about when we were slaves in ancient Egypt? The exact same thing. It was a kingdom operated by who? By Satan. So therefore, all of those evil spirits were on us because that was a satanic kingdom. Come. All the spirits of anguish and sorrow and rebellion, that's what we were dealing with in ancient Egypt. So when we talk about the Exodus, it's beautiful to talk about it on a physical level. We often have to talk about what the Most High, what he was doing on a spiritual level against the gods of Egypt, against some spirits that was on us at that time. Con, let's go to Exodus 8. And there's some similarities between Pharaoh and Satan. Huh? Satan, give me that in 2 Timothy 2:25 about Satan taking you captive. See, Satan takes you captive. Pharaoh took us captive. Satan won't let you go. Pharaoh won't let you go. God, give me 2 Timothy 2:25. And you know, Pharaoh, he said, the brother read it, I and my people are what? Are wicked. So you know he was off. And then after he told Israel to go, he said, and bless me also. If you're oppressing all of Israel, you tell them to leave. Okay, throw prayer for me too. Right? So read that, King.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 25. In this, instructing those that oppose themselves, if the Most High benediction will give them repentance to the acknowledgement of the truth.
Right? The Most High can work with a brother if you go in the right spirit. Read on.
And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, are taken captive by him and his will.
Or taken captive by him at his will. Will Satan let you go if you just go before a brother, if you got a demon on him, say, Satan, let this brother go? Is he going to let him go? He's not going to let him go. You know how easy cat would be, man? Man, it'd be in and out like a fast food kind of thing. Brother come up, sick and let him go. Brother in his right mind. Homosexual come up. Brother said crackheads. Cat will be so smooth, God. But Satan is not going to let them go just because you ask. So the Most High has to work to let Satan let you go. God, Satan works for the Most High. Pharaoh worked for the Most High. They're both set up by the Most High. Same entity, same spirits. God, let's get Exodus 8 and 25. Right? A lot of similarities between Pharaoh and Satan because he was the ruler of darkness at that time. All right? Exodus 8 and 25.
Exodus 8, verse 25. And Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, go ye sacrifice to your God in the land.
He said, go sacrifice to your God in the land. And if you want to serve the Most High, do it in Egypt. Don't go out of my sight. Don't go out of my presence. Go on and think about this. So we're not just thinking about things carnally, we're thinking about it what? Spiritually. Right? Go on.
And Moses said, it is not meet so to do.
It is not meet to be in the satanic kingdom and still trying to serve the Most High. Right? You can't serve the Most High and Satan at the same time. How are you going to do all these sacrifices in the satanic kingdom? You got to go, God. If you truly want to serve the Most High in these last days, can you do it under the governance of Satan? No. You have to go far away. And that's what Moses is saying. I can't serve you or serve the Most High in this realm, in this world. There's too many demons of these Egyptians. They'll kill us. For us being so righteous. Come on, read them.
For we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God.
Said, when we serve the Most High, that is an abomination to the Egyptians. Now, the scriptures say, give me Proverbs 29 and 27. That's what I read. 29 and 27. Precept. 29 and 27.
Proverbs 29 and verse number 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
Only demons would say that you serving the Most High is an abomination to them. That's why when we go to camp, people try to run you off, threaten to kill you, people try to then murder you, fight you. Is it them that wants to fight you and run you off? Who is it? It's Satan, it's demons. So Moses said, these people are off, man. If we try to set up the tabernacle and serve the Most High in Egypt, these people will kill us. Because every righteous thing we do is an abomination to these homosexuals and murderers. It's a lot of spiritual activity in Egypt. Go back to Exodus 8, King, and read where you left off.
Exodus chapter 8 and verse 26. And Moses said, it is not meet so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God.
Right?
Oh, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes? And they will not stone us.
Moses said they will kill us for this truth. That's what he said. For us keeping the commandments, these Egyptians are going to kill us. That sounds familiar? It should sound familiar. Because that's what's going on now in these last days. The sacrifices that we do, they will not stone us, they'll chop our heads off, man. Arrest us and throw us in these multi-billion-dollar detention centers. Bro, see the detention centers that they're building that for us, man. So Satan says, okay, you can serve the Most High. I want you to stay under my reign. Don't go too far away. Right? Don't leave my sight. Just serve the Lord, but let me kind of still rule over you a little bit. Moses said, hell no, huh? Right? We're going far away from you. Read on, King.
We will go through the journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God, and he shall command us.
Get to Matthew 6 and 24. So he knew that we couldn't serve two masters. I'm not going to serve the Most High and serve you in your kingdom. And he knew that, man. That's the spirit that brothers have to have, man. See, people can say, look, man, they may accept you being an Israelite, but then they still want you to do movements and sin, huh? Oh, man, you got to leave right now. If you went to your worldly family, maybe check with your mother, and brothers have experienced your worldly family trying to keep you there, or people at your job trying to keep you in a conversation, trying to bring you back in. You want to leave, and they trying to bring you back. Brothers ever deal with something like that? That's how you know that Satan still working. And you want to leave, you want to go and serve the Lord, and they say, don't go too far away from me. Right? They want to pull you back to these spirits, huh? Read Matthew 6 and 24.
Say Matthew 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
What the Lord say?
No man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
He cannot what?
He cannot serve God and man.
There was no way in hell we would be able to serve the Most High in Egypt the way the Lord intended for us, man. It would be a war. All hell would break loose, God. So if you really want to serve the Most High, you have to go far away from Satan. Let's go to Exodus 10 and 8. And that's how you know that there were spirits operating in that Egyptian kingdom, because only Satan would work on somebody to make them say such a thing. Right? So we're seeing these works of Satan even on Pharaoh against the children of Israel. Exodus 10 and 8.
Exodus chapter 10 and verse 8. And Moses and Aaron were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said unto them, so said the Lord their God, are they that shall go?
Well, that has nothing to do with anything. If you told us to go serve the Lord thy God, who does the matter who's going, huh? Going, huh? Who's going to go? Read on.
And Moses said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds. Will we go? For we must hold a feast unto the Lord.
People, everybody leave, huh? Moses said, now one hoof is going to be left behind, God. Right? So we don't.
And he said unto them, let the Lord be so with you, as I will let you go, and the little ones look to it, for evil is before you.
He said, evil is before you. Read on.
Not so, go thou ye that are men and serve the Lord.
Go serve the Lord. You can still serve the Lord, but everybody can't go. All your women, your cattle, and children. Can you truly serve the Lord can we serve the Lord as just men? In these last days, just the men of the Lord. And we left all our women under the vices of Satan. They still wearing pants, still in the club, freaking off, still getting high. Only the men serve the Lord. We made a covenant. Okay, with so-called white men, look, we're not going to teach any sisters. Only the men going to serve the Lord. No, man. Hell no. We teaching everybody know how we survive. We come. We teaching sons. We teaching daughters. We teaching our wives. We teaching mothers, aunties. Everybody's going to serve the Lord. Come. But Satan, again, he'll work and say, look, you can serve the Lord, but here's how I want you to serve the Lord. Do it this way, because this way pleases me. Come, go to the book of Exodus, chapter, what's this same book? The 10th chapter, read 24.
Exodus 10 and verse 24. And Pharaoh called unto Moses and said, go ye, serve the Lord.
Go again, go serve the Lord.
Only let your flocks and your herds be stayed, but your little ones also go with you.
Why do we need the flocks and the herds? To do what? Sacrifice, huh? But he said, y'all will serve the Lord, but again, first he said, don't go very far away. Then he said, only the men can go. I don't want no woman keeping the commandment to serving the Lord. Then he said, y'all can go, but don't take no sacrifice, which I don't want you to get a forgiveness for your sins and burnt offerings and meat offerings. He knew about that, man. Just go serve the Lord, but I don't want you to do it fully. Right? Go on. And you see this spirit sometimes even in Israel. I'll give you we said Revelation 3 and 15. You see this lukewarm spirit. You want to serve the Lord, but not 100%. Revelation 3 and 15.
The book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse number 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
You in this thing when you out this thing. If you strike the fence, you're double-minded. What's the Lord going to do? Spew you out of his mouth. It's like warm coffee, room temperature coffee, temperature tea, temperature soup. Huh? It's either iced coffee or hot coffee. Iced tea or hot tea. Huh? Right? If it's not, you spit it out, man, and pour it down the sink. So the most times, man, he's showing us in the spirit how Satan operates, God, and what forces we were dealing with in Egypt, and how he didn't want to let us go, not just on the physical to build these cities. I don't want you to go to tap in with the Most High. I want these spirits of anguish to still be on you, spirits of sorrow, spirits of my gods, all the demons. I want them to be on you, not just go out and be free. Right? Brothers understand that? Go to Exodus chapter 7 and 9. Right? Another quick precept.
Exodus chapter 7 and verse number 9. When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, shoot a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod, and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
Right. A lot of people think Moses did that. Aaron actually did that. Right. Go on.
And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded, and Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and for the serpents, and it became a serpent.
It became a serpent. This was a miracle. Go on.
And Pharaoh also called them by his name and the sorcerers. Now the Egyptians, now the Egyptians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments.
They did in like manner with their enchantments. What forces, again, we know the answer. What forces were working with the magicians that allowed them to do this? Satanic forces, man. Demonic forces. Anybody know how to do that? No. Be a damn problem, huh? Right? We're going to pass over, throw his rod down, and it becomes a serpent, huh? Immediate counsel, right? Immediate counsel on the spot, right? So they were working with these forces, right, that allowed them to replicate some of the plagues in Egypt. They did the first one, they did the second one. They, frogs came out, but what was the first plague they tried to do? They couldn't do. Because remember, the lights. And he said, this is the finger of God. They said, we in some trouble right now, God. Right? So again, this is further proof to show you how Satan was working in that Egyptian kingdom. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 18:6. But the Most High freed us from that. God, the Most High freed us from physical bondage, and he freed us from all those spirits that was in that kingdom, huh? All the evil, foul spirits. And that's what the Most High is going to do in these last days as well. Read Wisdom of Solomon 18.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 6. Of that night were our fathers certified a fool, then assured, knowing until what oaths they had given credence, they might afterwards be of good cheer.
Be of what?
Be of good cheer.
So when the Lord gave us the Passover laws and ordinances, the Most High put a spirit of what on us? Cheer, right? Cheer and joy. When we kept the Passover in our houses, go on. That's a good spirit to be in. Come on, read on.
So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies.
Go on.
Thou didst punish our adversaries. By the same, thou didst glorify us. Thou hast home. For the children, for the righteous children of good men, did sacrifice secretly.
We did the Passover secretly, right? Go on.
And with one consent.
And with one consent,
made a holy law.
Made a holy law. We read that in Exodus, the 12th chapter. Read on.
That the saints should be alike partakers of the same good and evil, like so the same good and evil the fathers now singing out the songs of praise.
So the father's still dealing with anguish and sorrow.
Singing out the songs of praise.
No, just sorrows and depression and bitterness.
Singing out the songs of praise.
So you see how the Most High replaced a lot of those spirits of anguish, sorrow. What did he replace it with? Cheer, praise, joy, mirth. Those are actual spirits that were on the Israelites, man. See, a lot of emotions are really spirits. You know, a lot of emotions are really the Most High working on you and putting different spirits on. So the Most High gave us joy. He freed us from sorrow, freed us from anguish, and he gave us cheer, and he gave us praise. Go to Exodus 14 and 26. Exodus 14 and 26.
Exodus chapter 14 in verse number 26. And the Lord said to Moses, stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horses. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength with the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea.
Turn the waters on. Go on.
And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horses and all the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them.
And see, the Lord tell you in Wisdom of Solomon that wherewithal a man sinneth, the same shall he be punished. Right? So the Most High put the spirit of the Egyptians to do what with our sons? They were cast into the sea, come. They were cast into the Red Sea. They were cast into the Nile River. They were cast into these different bodies of waters, man. And the same way that you tried to kill us, and you were, the Most High's killing you. Right? Go on.
But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on the right hand and on the left.
Go on.
Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out the hand of the Egyptians.
He saved us out of the hand of the Egyptians.
And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore.
Right.
And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses.
So these were spirits of fear and righteousness, joy, mirth. Read the next chapter, the first verse.
Exodus 15 and verse 1. Did say Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord.
I'm still with bitterness and anguish.
I will sing unto the Lord.
I will sing unto the Lord. So all those spirits and demons, they were taken out by the Most High. Do it, son, how shut. God, read on. And then the Lord put righteous spirits on us. He physically freed us, but then the Lord also spiritually freed us, man. So when we get taken out of here, if you think we're going to have spirits of anguish on us, demons of depression, you scared about your health, nervousness, financial problems, brothers think that's going to be the chariot of demons. No, it's going to be these same exact spirits of cheer, joy, fear of the Lord. In Revelation, it says the remnant were afraid and gave glory to the God of heaven. Huh? And those are the spirits the Lord is going to put on us. God, read on, King.
I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider had he thrown into the sea.
And I mean, this is almost unimaginable. An entire nation singing at one accord the song of the Lord. God, you even had a woman that was dancing. When you read this chapter, Miriam, give me verse 20. Read 20.
Verse number 20. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women were out after her with timbrels and with dance.
With timbrels and with they was turned, they was turned up, huh? It didn't say 5 women, 10 women. Some woman was leaning on the wall. Some people were shy. I'm not gonna do that, girl. Who's that? I can't believe. No, huh? But like how even the world is now. Who does she think she is? right? But if all the women turned up, come, and y'all had temples. Read on, King.
And there answered them, singing ye to the Lord.
And they did what?
Singing ye to the Lord.
Yeah, what?
Lord, he has sort of forced me. The horse and his rider, and he thrown into the sea.
As he thrown into the sea. Right? So the Lord physically freed us, but the Lord also did what? Spiritually freed us, released us from a lot of those evil spirits that was on us, man. Right? Go to Acts 10 and 38. Right? Acts chapter 10 and 38.
So go to Acts chapter 10 and verse number 38. So how the Most High anointed our Son of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil.
Well, the so-called white man.
That were oppressed of the devil.
The Chinese guy.
That were oppressed of the devil.
For what?
For the Most High was with him.
So, okay, we have a physical devil. Who's the physical devil? Esau. Now, when the Lord in Acts 10 and 38 is saying we were oppressed of the devil, he's not talking about the so-called white man. He's not talking about Tiberius Caesar or Nero. We are literally oppressed of the devil, right? With different spirits, man. A lot of health issues are brothers oppressed by the devil. You know, a lot of mental issues, people are oppressed by the devil. It's not just, okay, that brother, he's going through hard times. Okay, well, that sister, she just lost. No, a lot of people are oppressed by Satan. God, no good thing under the sun. That's why we're going through this in ancient Egypt. Not only were we oppressed by Pharaoh, we were also oppressed by the devil. Right? Luke 13. Get a quick precept on that. Luke 13 and 12. Because Yahweh Shai, he spoke about that.
Say Luke chapter 13 and verse 12. And when Yahweh Shai saw, he called the person together and said to her, Woman, thou art loose from thy infirmity.
When you're loose from something, you are freed from it. You're freed from this health issue. And if you're loose, that means somebody must have had you what? Bound. Right? If you're freed, that means you must have been enslaved. You must have been oppressed. He said you're loose from your infirmity. See, and our people don't understand that, man. A lot of us get sick. Let's get sick. You deal with things. When you get better, it's not just okay. I ate my ginger root, which is honey, ginger, and lemon. Right? That's okay. Yeah, brother, you drank your honey, ginger, and lemon. Okay, it's not that what healed you. It's the Most High that healed you. And how many times have you ever heard a brother say, "May the Lord loose me from my infirmity. He loosed me from Satan." You don't often hear these things, man, because sometimes we get caught up in the flesh, come. And we have to start thinking about things in the spirit. Satan got me bound. I was just sick. Like last week, I was sick. I was sick, huh? But we were bound up by Satan, huh? And then the Lord loosed us from those things, come. So when you're dealing with your issues at life, home, health, often, always think about how the Most High frees you from the bonds of Satan. Come, right? So Exodus is not just, okay, we went through a Red Sea. It's about how the Most High liberates us from all things, right? So read on King in Luke, the 13th chapter. Read Luke 13:13.
Verse number 11. And
Luke 13 and get straight to the point. Read 15.
Verse number 15.
Because they tried to give him about healing on the Sabbath day. Read on.
The Lord did answer them and said, Thou hypocrite, do not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his ox or his ass from the stall and lead him away to water?
Yeah, I'm loosing people from Satan. You get mad at me, you're loosing animals, right? And beasts, you're a hypocrite. Go on.
And ought not this woman be a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan had bound.
She just had a sickness.
Whom Satan had bound.
Whom Satan had bound. Go on.
Lo, these 18 years be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day.
What a time to be healed, man. What a time to be healed by the Howard on the Sabbath day. God, imagine 18 years with an infirmity, right? 18 years. Brothers be sick for a week and it'd be the end of the world, huh? I can't believe it. Right? And 18 years bound with an infirmity. You still got people to this day, man. In wheelchairs. You got elders in hospitals, man. People could barely move. And everybody's bound up by Satan. And we need the exodus from Yahweh Shem. So the Most High is showing us how things operate on the spiritual level. Infirmities is us being bound by Satan. When you call on the Most High through the word and through the spirit, you're loosed from that oppression. God, go to John 8:31. That's why Yahweh said this. Classic. Right? John 8:31.
St. John, chapter 8, and verse number 31. And then said Yahweh to those Jews which believe on him, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed.
Right? If you continue in my word, you're my disciples indeed. We are.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
The truth shall make you free, right? They say this in movies, they say it in TV shows, right? But what is the thing that the truth is going to make you free? Right? Free from what? He's going to tell you. Read on.
They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
And I don't be reading them like, what was they bond in, huh? You were never in bond, never. You were never in bondage. Never to any man. Right? At one time, we didn't. What? They say, what do you mean we're going to be made free? Read on.
And I was trying to answer them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin.
And he's saying you're going to be free. You're going to be free from who? From Satan, right? And the demons that are causing you to sin. Go to the book of Romans 6 and 14. A quick precept there. Romans 6 and 14. So we're all waiting on another exodus, right? Read that, King.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 14. For sin shall not have the victory over you, for ye are not under the law, under grace.
Right, so sin is a slave master and oppressor. But if you believe in Yahweh, you're free from that. God, right? You're forgiven, you accept his blood, you repent to the Most High, and you're free from sin. How many brothers, by show of hands, bound up by sin, by demons? Few brothers, we're all bound up by spirits, God. And we all believe in the hope by Shema, we were set free. Go on, King.
What then? Shall we sin because we are now under the law, but under grace? God forbid.
Read.
Know not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, rather of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness.
Right, you could be a servant to sin, or you get put to death, or you can obey the Most High and be righteous. God, these are the spirits that you can serve. So when the Lord said you'll be set free, you'll be set free from sin, set free from the oppression of the devil, and set free from Satan. 2 Peter 2:19. Right? Some people are set free, and they do what our fathers did. They want to go back into bondage. They want to go back into bondage. They said, let's stone Moses to point a captain over us because we missed the garlic. We missed the leeks. We remember that we ate melons freely in Egypt, huh? That's some Negro talk, huh? Right? Watermelon, leeks, cucumbers, and they wanted to go back into bondage. 2 Peter 2:19.
2 Peter from the 2 from 19, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in on.
So this is about hypocrisy. People promise people liberty. This is a brother that goes out and teaches about Yahushua, teaches about the truth, but secretly he's going to hell off. He's teaching you how to be free from your sin, but where is he going to? He's going back to his sin. He's going back into bondage. Whether it's smoking weed, whether it's Islam, whether it's Christianity, whether it's prostitution, whether it's fornication, he'll go back into bondage after he was set free. Read on.
For and after they had escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior, Yahushua,
They are what?
they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
The latter end is worse than the beginning, man. Because when you are set free and you go back into bondage, there's no more hope for you, man. There's no more hope. So imagine the mindset of those people in the wilderness. We're not going to go too deep into it. Who said we want to go back into Egypt? We want to go back into bondage. You think they would try to leave? No, they'll stay there, man. They'll be worse off than they were prior to leaving, man. They'll get really into that Egyptian lifestyle, man, and really deep into that heathenistic customs, huh? So when you're set free, do not return back to bondage. Because you're taking the blood of Yahushua in vain, man. You're spitting on the Most High's name, man, on his in the name of his son Yahushua. Every time you're set free from these spirits and you willfully go back into bondage. Let's go to John. Right? Let's go to John chapter 14 and 29. We'll get a few more.
St.
John 14 and 29.
St. John chapter 14 and verse number 29. Now, I have told you before it comes to pass that when it is come to pass, you might believe.
Right? This prophecy go on.
Hereafter, I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me.
Who's the prince of this world? Satan. That's the same prince of Persia, prince of Grecia, prince of the power of the air. Right? It's that same prince. Why is he a prince? Because the Most High is the king. Right? And he is one of the sons of God on the left-hand side. So read 30 again.
Hereafter, I will not talk much with you.
He's talking to the apostle. Go on.
For the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me.
Right? He's talking about the betrayal that was about to happen. But he's speaking about it on a spiritual level. Because who's the side of Judas Iscariot? Satan. Remember when Yahushua gave him the sop, it says Satan entered into him. And he said, that thou doest, do for them. And he was talking not to Judas, he was talking to Satan. So the prince of this world is Satan that has nothing to do with Yahushua. Yahushua is here to free you. Satan is here to keep you in bondage. Yahushua is here to liberate you from these spirits, just like Exodus. Satan is here to keep you under these different demons. Go to the book of John, chapter 16 and verse 7.
John 16 and verse 7. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you.
Right?
And when he is come,
when the Comforter is come,
he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment.
Right. So it's the Comforter out there in the highways and byways in New York, Rhode Island, Baltimore, reproving people. Does the Comforter have a YouTube channel? Well, there was a guy who called himself the Comforter. Right? But he's no longer with us, man. But who's reproving the world? Israelites, man. But why is Yahushua saying the Comforter? Because the Comforter is what's on the Israelites. That's allowing them to reprove the world. It's the Spirit working on the Israelites to reprove the world. God, but Yahushua, he's always breaking things down on a spiritual level. Right? Go on, King.
Of sin, because they believe not on me.
Right?
Of righteousness, because I go to my Father and he see me no more.
Read.
Of judgment.
Of what?
Of judgment.
Of judgment. Why?
Because the prince of this world is judged.
The prince of this world is judged. Right? What does that mean? Go to Hebrews 2 and 14. Right? The prince of this world is judged. Pharaoh was judged. He oppressed us. He was overthrown in the Red Sea and he was set free. And Shai did the same thing to Satan. Right? Hebrews 2 and 14.
Hebrews 2 and 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same,
Right?
that through death he might destroy him.
He might do what?
He might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil.
That is what?
That is the devil.
The Lord destroyed the devil on us. Because if we still have the devil on us, we'll be doing works that lead to what? Death and bondage. Brothers understand, right? Read on, King.
And deliver them.
And deliver them.
Who, through fear of death,
or what?
Were all their lifetime subject to bondage.
Subject to what?
Subject to bondage.
Subject to bondage, man. Slavery, oppression, spirits. And all of us had spirits on us in the world, man. Brothers who hated their brother. You know, brothers were held grudges. Brothers were violent, man. Just high, delirious, bug outs, Islam, Christians, you know, and many other spirits. There's so many spirits that we had on us, but thanks be to Yahweh, he freed us from those things. We were all our life subject unto bondage, God, and the Lord freed us, man. So all praises to the Most High for that, man. Go to Matthew 12:28.
Say Matthew 12, verse number 28. And if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God is coming to you.
Right.
Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
See, in this context, through the Spirit, read 29 again.
Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods?
I don't break somebody's house and rob them. Right? You have to do what first?
Except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
So Satan is the strong man. And Yahweh bound up Satan, bound up those demons, and whoever was in that house was set free. Come. So all of the spoils are all of the saints that were in that strong man's house. Brothers understand that? Go to Colossians 2 and 15. Right, go to Colossians 2 and 15.
So Colossians chapter 2 and verse number 15. And having spoiled principalities.
It's the same thing in Matthew 12. Spoil the strong man's house. When you spoil somebody, you rob them. Right? You take from them. And having spoiled principalities. Go on.
Having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a shoe of them openly, triumphing over them in it.
See, when Yahweh was on the scene, he wasn't just here on the physical realm, doing physical things. He was spoiling principalities, He was casting out spirits, dealing with different demons, fighting against the spiritual demon Satan, the prince of the air, the prince of the power of the world, judging him, condemning him. Right? Read 15 one more time.
And having spoiled principalities and powers.
And that's how we're in this room right now. Through the spirit of power of the Most High, because Yahweh shall spoil principalities and powers. We read about the prince of the kingdom of Persia, the prince of the kingdom of Greece, the prince of the power of the air. We read about how Satan, even in Egypt, had a particular prince that's power over it, even in Babylon the Great, And Yahweh shall set us free from these different spirits. He spoiled them. Go on.
He made a shoe of them openly, triumphing over them.
Triumphing in them over it. Right? Go to the book of Luke, right? Chapter 10 and verse number 18.
Saying Luke chapter 10 and verse number 18. And he said unto them,
Read 17.
verse 17, and the servant returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
Right. So this was spiritual warfare. They say through the name of Yahweh Shai, we can conquer and cast out spirits of the palsy, people with torments. You know about people that had fevers, people that they couldn't walk, they were lunatics. All these spirits that had Israelites in bondage, the apostles was freeing them from that bondage. Come. And that's what we're doing out on the highways and byways. That's why we do lessons like this. That's why we talk about the precepts. Because our goal out there as we teach is to do what the Most High did for us in the book of Exodus. It's to do what Yahweh did for us. It's the freedom from those spirits. God, it's the exact same thing. So the what the Lord did for us in Exodus is what we have to do for one another and what we do for each other. He freeing us from bondage, freeing us from these spirits, and freeing us from this captivity. So next time you go out on the highways and byways, think about your goal out there is okay, not just being, I'm not saying brothers are doing this, but your goal out there is to literally have a mind to free your people from the spirits that they deal with. Come by using the word of the Lord. Right? So read 18, King.
Come. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as light fall from heaven.
I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Go on.
Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you.
And there's going to be a lot of spirits that are going to train demons that are going to try to put you back in bondage as we approach the end of the world. Jacob's trouble is coming. All the heavens about to break loose from the earth, huh? And be mindful of these demons like what? Fear. That's a heavy spirit. Anxiety. What else? Depression. Panic. What's another spirit? Doubt. Anger. You said what? Doubt. Doubt. That's a heavy demon.
Unbelief.
You said what?
Unbelief. Unbelief.
Huh? Be mindful of these different demons that go to and fro looking to bind you up. This is spiritual warfare. So you're going to see more evil on the earth. These prices are going to keep going up as we talk about, man. I saw a gas, man, when we went to slaughter the lamb, gas was $4.30. $4.30 damn cent, man. And this war not going to stop, man. I don't care what Trump said. Whatever Trump said, he's doing it to fluctuate the markets. Right? You do it Friday, you do it. It's like clockwork, man. But this war not going to stop. I think they just sent 12,000 troops over there, huh? Or I think it was 20,000. The Marines, paratroopers, they upped the age in the draft or the conscription or enlistment to I think 42. They went from 34 to 42. So this thing ain't cooling down, huh? Right? There's gonna be more spirits that are gonna try to hop on us to get brothers not to believe in the Most High these last days, huh? Spirits that may hop on your own family, huh? You know, spirits that may hop on brothers, huh? So the Lord speaks about brother delivering a brother to death, huh? Out of fear and out of bribery and out of these different spirits. Do not allow these demons to put you in bondage. God, this is what Exodus is about. Okay, it's a physical thing, but it's also a spiritual understanding, huh? Don't allow spirits of contention, pride, jealousy, envy, hatred, malice, lust to enslave you in the last days. God, Yahweh gave his life to free us from these things, man. To free us from all these spirits, man. So let's get Romans, right? The class, a beautiful precept, right? Romans 5 and 5.
Romans chapter 5 and verse 5. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us.
Right?
For when we were yet without strength. And in time, Habakkuk died for the ungodly.
He died for the righteous.
Died for the ungodly.
Bunch of weed smokers.
Died for the ungodly.
Bunch of fornicators.
Died for the ungodly.
Bunch of Sabbath breakers.
Died for the ungodly.
Bunch of adulterers.
Died for the ungodly.
Such secret sins.
Died for the ungodly.
Yahushua died for the ungodly. Huh? What are the ungodly that Yahushua died for? God. The Passover, Yahushua died for the ungodly to free us from sin that we may serve him. Go on.
For scarcely for a righteous man, O my God, peradventure for a good man, some would even dare to die.
Right, so the Lord is putting things into perspective. He's trying to show you that this thing is not easy, man. It's not easy to die for somebody, man. If we said it sounds good. So some brothers, it sounds real mighty, man. Brother, read John 15, 12 to 13. I die for you, X, Y. It sounds good, right? But you don't know what you're going to do until that situation happens, right? Yahushua knew what he was going to do, huh? And he did it, God. He knew the will of the Most High, and he did it. And he didn't die for the righteous people. He died for the wicked, huh? How many brothers would die for a drug dealer right now? Child molester, a murderer, a rapist? Nobody, huh? But Yahushua died for us, God. All right, so read that again, King. What you think about it? Read on.
For scarce for a righteous man, one will die.
Scarce, brothers. A righteous man, he'll get a hard time. He'll have a hard time having somebody die for him. And he's righteous. Read.
Yet peradventure for a good man, some will even dare to die.
Some don't even dare to die, huh? If brother freeze up, they got a thing called fight or flight. Brothers heard of that? Gunshots start going out. We have people leave camp. Fled. You remember that? I also remember that. Fled. Huh? We need to we need to learn how to politic. That's what the brother said. He said we need to shut camp down. Let's learn how to politic. Then the other brothers fled, huh? So you never know what you're going to do in that situation, huh? Right? We don't care.
But God commanded his love toward us.
And what?
And that while we were yet sinners.
While we were sinners, we were in bondage. What happened?
Habakkuk died for us.
The Lord did what?
Habakkuk died for us.
Read.
Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him.
Go on.
For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son.
Imagine being an enemy to the Lord and not knowing you're an enemy to the Lord. Right? Read on.
When we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son. Much more, being reconciled, shall be saved by his life.
Right?
And now also, but we also join in Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh myself, by whom we have now received the atonement.
Right? We receive forgiveness of sins. We have been set free. So as you read the book of Exodus, as you go through the Passover and the following days of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, be mindful and glorify Yahweh B'Shem Shah for freeing us out of Egypt with 10 mighty plagues, right? The death of the firstborn and a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians. But think about the spiritual side. Do not allow these demons to put you in bondage, right? Don't allow evil spirits to oppress you. And again, the same love that the Lord showed us when he freed us from slavery, that's why we go to camp. That's why we do this work. That's why we go out on the highways and byways to do the same thing that the Lord did for us, to give our people the same joy and the same birth and the same exodus that the Lord gave us. God, and with that, come yourself. Come yourself. Come yourself.